Hey everybody, this is Dave Blair, and this is another iRacing. This will be week number 2 in season 4 of 2019. We're in the Skip Barber at Brands Hatch, the Indy layout. So basically, I wanted to cover this race for a couple different reasons. Number one, as you can see here, I started out in 12th position again this week. And basically, I just tried to come out and race as cleanly and as carefully as I could. And there were a whole lot of incidences in this race. And I did a pretty good job to avoid almost everything. So we have a couple cars going off here. So you can see the guy on the right, and there's a guy on the left that went wide. But it's just a massive coming together here. But for the most part, everyone seems to make it through pretty good. Again, I'm racing this in VR. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this title, or in this during this race here. Because basically, with my shoulder injury, which, oh, we got another, look at that damage on that. Yeah, this is the one that really cost me. But I did a good job of avoiding the accident there. So I had to go hard on the brakes here. Yeah, you got pieces flying off. I saw him spinning out in front of me, and I was like, I had nowhere to go. But I avoided it. But yeah, that knocked me all the way back to 16th, I think, which was last. So I'm pretty sure I don't have anybody behind me at this point. Yep. But again, that guy spun in front of me. I had nowhere to go. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Again, I'm knocked all the way back to last. It's 16th place at this point. I started in 12th. I really am not off to a good start, but I'm hopeful that I can have a good finish if I just race smart. You got some more carnage on the inside here. There's another 3 cars. I avoid that guy. I knew there was going to be a lot of carnage in this race because it was such a short track. But anyway, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. Because of my shoulder injury, and my shoulder is still hurting me. There's another guy off. I can only race, I shouldn't be racing at all, but I can only race 1 race per week. I feel like, first of all, I can't resist racing something. I have to race something. And I figure if I just keep it to 1 race a week, hopefully I'm not doing too much damage to my shoulder. But anyway, so when you have only 1 choice of what sim you're going to race, what sim do you choose? Well, we got some more carnage here, and I'm just picking up positions left and right at this point. So I'm up to 9th, up to 5th. Yeah, I'm in 5th at this point. Get a little squirrely here. But, yeah, we're on lap 4. I'm already up to 5th after falling all the way back to last. So again, just trying to, drive as quickly as I can, but still maintain my control and avoid all the accidents. That was my thought process going into this race, and I think I did pretty good. Anyway, so if you're down, if you can only race 1 sim, in which is my situation right now, and my choice is iRacing. Not just because that this one has the new tire model and the new damage model, which was a big reason why I decided to race at least 1 race a week anyway. But the reason I pick iRacing is because this game is the best in VR, in my opinion. It has the highest frame rate, and it looks, the graphics are good. Now I have a Samsung Odyssey. I don't have the Samsung Odyssey Plus. I just have the Samsung Odyssey. And for my computer, I have an i7 and I have a GTX 1070. But so I don't have really a killer PC, but the VR in this game is by far the best because it's the smoothest, I should say, as far as it gives me the best frame rate. The other reason why I like iRacing is, and this is for these people that don't play iRacing, may not know, but 30 minutes before the race, you can log into the lobby and you can do some practice laps. Because of my shoulder, I kind of log in maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the race, and I do a couple laps just to try it out. I kind of come in this with no practice, and I also just take the stock tune. I'm running the baseline setup. So I do a couple laps of practice, and then it goes over to qualifying, or it tells you to ready up, and you ready up into your race, and that's when it divides you into your split. Depending on your I rating and your safety rating, you get put into different splits, which is good. It's kind of like your built-in matchmaking. I really like that because it's going to put you with people that you should be competitive with. Then the other thing that I like about this is it gives you 2 laps of qualifying time on the track all by yourself. Now, like with Assetto Corsa, you get dumped out with everybody, and everybody's trying to do a qualifying lap in traffic, which is, it can be frustrating when you have people that are just going out on their out lap, and you might be trying to set a hot lap, and they're in your way, So with iRacing, it gives you 2 laps. I mean, basically, you get your out lap, and then you get 2 flying laps to set your best time, and then it puts you on the grid in the order that you qualify. And again, I'm just telling this for people that don't play iRacing. So I really like that about this game. The other thing I really like about this game is it works really well with the Crew Chief app. And that's the one where it tells you, hey, you got somebody to your inside. Oh, see, this guy come flying up into me. Hold on. I hope I don't get sidetracked too much here. But yeah, I never saw this guy coming. And to me, he was coming way too fast. And, look how far I was, on the outside of the corner, and he came flying into me. And I'm sorry, but that was just a dumbass move on his part. I mean, I don't feel bad. I don't feel, sorry for him at all. He caused that wreck. He came in here out of control and into me. And luckily, he didn't damage my car. So I continued on. So anyway, I feel like I got sidetracked now. Yeah, so you get your 2 flying laps, you get qualified, everyone gets put on the grid, and you can talk to everyone that's on the grid. You have a push to talk button, and so you do have communication with other people. Now sometimes you get into toxic lobby, but if you're adult about it, you should be able to handle that. And then the other thing that I really like about iRacing is the flags. Like if there's an accident on the track, they give you the yellow flag, or they give you the white flag when you have 1 lap to go. You have a checkered flag, so it's very, it's just what's going on, and it's just the flag system that helps you out. Same thing, like I race a lot of the NASCAR races in iRacing too, which if you like NASCAR racing, there's really not that many titles out there that you can have good good racing in the NASCAR circuits anywhere else but iRacing, because they have the they have the caution laps and the pit stops, and and it's as real as I've experienced in a game. So again, iRacing has all these different disciplines, and I think their car selection could be a little better, but it's still pretty good. You know, if you like, they have the road courses. If you want to do GT3s, you know, or Indy cars, or you know, they have the Dallara things. They also have the NASCAR, which they have the trucks, they have the cars, they have all different kinds of, you know, levels of the NASCAR racing type stuff. They have the dirt trucks now, and then they also have the rally cross, and they also have the dirt ovals. So, really a wide range. And I think that, you know, the physics are pretty good in this title. Again, if you only had one sim to race in, I would say iRacing is my choice, obviously, because I can only race one right now, and this is the one that I choose. And I chose it partly because of the new tire model, but still. The other nice thing about this one is it has a 12-week season, and you can race whenever you want. Now, I have been in series before where there weren't that many races to choose from, or we didn't have enough people to make it an official race. But if you pick something that's popular, again, like the GT3 cars, you're going to be able to find a race whenever you want. And with the Skippies right now, it's on the hour every hour. So for me, it's every quarter past, or, you know, like 8:15, 9:15, you know, so every hour on the hour. I can jump into a Skippy race if I want. And, you know, you can take the best out of, I think it's 3 or 4 races. And then we got some more carnage up here. Yeah, for the rest of this race, I just avoid everybody. Yeah, it was just that guy that ran into me that was the biggest problem for me in this race. But yeah, but anyway, I'm kind of rambling on and on a little bit, I guess, but when I only have one choice of what to race, this is my choice because of all the good things about it. And I know it is expensive, but once you get over that, you know, and again, it's not too bad if you pick the series that you want to race and don't buy any of the other stuff. You just buy the tracks. Like when I was doing the NASCAR trucks, you know, I bought the Chevy truck, and then I also bought all the tracks. I think let's see, I had, out of the 12 weeks, I think I had 8, so I only had to buy 4 tracks to do the series. But of course, when the new season comes out, you may have to buy other things, other tracks, if you want to stay with the NASCAR trucks, or, you know, whatever you decide to do. But if you just focus on one series or 2 series at a time, it's not that expensive. Again, once you have the vehicle, you just have to get whatever tracks that you're missing for the series, and it's not that hard. But for all the great things that iRacing brings, and, you know, to the game, it's well worth it to me. My second choice would probably be Assetto Corsa. Now, I'm not crazy about the physics in Assetto Corsa, but it does have a lot of free content. I mean, you buy the game, and with Sim Racing System, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had. I mean, you can get into a lot of different series in that title also. Now, I wish I avoided this guy. You know, I wish more people were doing the Project Cars 2 in Sim Racing System, and also Race Room. Those are 2 great sims in my opinion also. But both of those titles, Project Cars 2 and Race Room, I've had problems finding enough people in the race that I want to run. So, you know, that's always an issue. And again, Project Cars 2 and Race Room in the general public hoppers aren't that much fun. So without Sim Racing System, it's really not worth your time. I would say the same thing with Assetto Corsa, because I also have Assetto Corsa on the Xbox, and while it drives, you know, very similar to the PC title, there's no one there to race against. Or if there are people on there racing, they're just racing on the Nordschleife public. You know, it's like 800 and something minutes. They just line up a race to just drive around. on the general public Nordschleife circuit or something. Just, it's not really a race. So, I don't know. I really enjoy racing in a series, and that's what iRacing gives me. And the fact that it's 12 weeks long, and it only counts your best 8 out of the 12 weeks. So if you miss a week, it's no big deal. You haven't blown your whole season. Whereas in Assetto Corsa, if you miss a week, you're pretty much out of the running for that series. So I don't know, just a lot of good things about iRacing. I also like the the HUD that they have, and the ability you can move everything around. You can turn your mirrors on. It does have the mirror at the top that you can turn on. You can put the the names of the people on the cars through your relative. It tells you how close people are ahead of you and behind you. I mean, it just gives you a lot of stuff on top of whatever your crew chief is giving you too. And again, that app works really good with iRacing. Alright, I guess I've kind of covered everything, but I just, I can only race I try to do one race a week until my shoulder heals up. And I just thought about that today when I was racing this race. And it's like, yeah, if I could only choose one series, just race one a week, then I choose iRacing. I choose iRacing because it plays really good in VR. It's fun. It's competitive. It's got all the stuff that I'm looking for in a sim racing title. It's got good force feedback. It's got pretty good physics. I like the new tire model. I like the new damage model. So I just think that, this title's moving in the right direction. And for those of you that have never tried iRacing, if you just get over the price to entry, it gets so much easier after that. And the other thing I would also like to add is, if you've never done iRacing, you should probably have a good Discord group. I have the SimPit Discord group because you're going to have questions with this title. The user interface, when you're setting things up, isn't exactly as good as it could be. I mean, it's a little confusing. So if you have somebody to ask or somebody to help you in that aspect of the game, it's really helpful. You're gonna have questions if you've never done this before. I had a ton of them, and I had people there to help me out and to answer my questions. Also, trading paints if you want to get your paint schemes. That was another thing I liked about this car. I went a little wide here because these three were coming by. These were back markers, I think, and I didn't really trust them, so I gave them as much room as I could because these are all the guys that spun out before. The other thing I like about this title is you can get paint jobs and you can import them really easily. I tried to make a paint job for Assetto Corsa on my own, and then when I got into the race, it told me my paint file was too big, so it never did load. So this game just makes it super easy to paint your car. You can paint your helmet, you can paint your outfit, and that's important too. And then I also have a place where I can download cartoons if I want, but I usually just go with the baseline because I don't have a whole lot of time to practice, and I don't really want to stress my shoulder out practicing with a whole bunch of different setups. So it's similar to the setup market in Assetto Corsa. You can just download people's tunes and try them out. So again, this pretty much has everything I'm looking for. And again, for some of you that don't know, my history is from Forza. I would race every Forza that ever came out, including all the Forza Horizons and all the Forza Motorsports, and I was big into Forza on the Xbox. And moving to the PC was a big move for me because I had left it a long time ago, back when I was playing first-person shooters and got tired of all the cheaters. But I've come back into the PC. I feel like I got a decent PC, I'm really enjoying the VR. I'm really enjoying all the, the new sims that I've gotten into since I jumped over to the PC. Not to mention all the great people that are all in the Discords. And, shout out to Gene Dolmez and Sean Severin and Pasha of Zero Bandwidth and William Marsh of the Sim Racing Paddock, Sean Cole of the Sim Pit, of course. All my North American guys. Anyway, let's see. Sorry if I left anybody out, but yeah, I think we'll leave it here. I'm basically rambling at this point. So I think this was a 24-lap race, and I'm in position 6 here. I think that's where I finished. So started 12th, finished 6th out of 16 people. So, yep, that's my one race for the week. Anyway, thanks for watching.